The recent revelations surrounding music mogul Sean Diddy Combs have sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry, with actor Terrence Howard playing a pivotal role in exposing alleged widespread sexual misconduct. In an explosive interview, Howard has reportedly revealed names of numerous celebrities involved with Diddy, subsequently receiving threats for his disclosures. The situation has escalated dramatically, with a new lawsuit now implicating Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and LeBron James alongside Diddy. This development marks a significant turning point in what appears to be Hollywood's biggest sex trafficking scandal. The allegations suggest that some of the most prominent figures in entertainment were complicit in or connected to Diddy's alleged activities. If proven true, these accusations could dismantle what some are calling the worst sex trafficking ring in Hollywood history. The gravity of the situation is underscored by the fact that those names stand to lose not only their careers, but potentially their freedom as well. Industry insiders have long whispered about the dark underbelly of Hollywood, but Howard's revelations bring these allegations into the harsh light of public scrutiny. His decision to speak out, despite facing threats and potential backlash, demonstrates the high stakes involved in exposing this alleged network of exploitation and abuse. As the legal proceedings unfold, the entertainment world watches anxiously, aware that the ramifications could fundamentally alter the industry's power structure. Terrence Howard's departure from the film industry stems from his deep understanding of its darkest secrets, particularly the pervasive practices of couch casting and sexual favors that form the foundation of Hollywood's power structure. His revelations align with evidence emerging from Diddy's arrest and leaked tapes, which appear to validate these long-standing industry rumors. During a revealing episode of the Patrick Bet-David podcast, Howard disclosed how he sacrificed some of the most coveted roles in his career to maintain his personal integrity and principles. When asked about specific instances where he declined such advances, Howard recounted multiple encounters with Diddy spanning several weeks. Initially approached under the guise of acting coaching, Howard quickly realized the true nature of these invitations. His assistant explicitly warned him about Diddy's intentions, prompting Howard to immediately cease all communication. This encounter exemplified Howard's approach to maintaining professional boundaries in an industry rife with predatory behavior. Howard emphasized the critical difference between being a guy and being a man in Hollywood circles. He described how producers and industry executives would often approach him with inappropriate suggestions or advances, only to be met with threats of physical confrontation when they crossed certain lines. This uncompromising stance led to lost business opportunities and roles, as Howard categorically refused to participate in any activity that compromised his values, including gay roles or intimate scenes with male actors. The actor's commitment to maintaining his man card, as he termed it, extended beyond just rejecting inappropriate advances. Howard observed how many industry professionals who compromised their integrity struggled with lasting psychological effects. He noted the mental health challenges faced by stars like Justin Bieber and Usher, suggesting that their substance abuse issues stemmed from trauma related to similar experiences. According to Howard, these individuals found themselves unable to escape the memories of their compromised situations, regardless of their level of intoxication at the time. Howard's revelations highlight a disturbing pattern where success often comes at the cost of personal dignity and self-respect. He emphasized that achievement without integrity holds no real value, drawing parallels between male actors compromising their masculinity and female actresses trading sexual favors for roles. In both cases, he argued, the industry's exploitative practices leave participants spiritually and emotionally depleted, achieving fame and recognition but losing their authentic selves in the process. Before making his explosive revelations public, Terrence Howard took to social media to signal his intention to expose what he characterized as the great lie of Hollywood. His tweet served as a warning shot across the bow of the entertainment industry's elite, declaring that he was merely beginning to peel back layers of deception that had persisted for decades. Following his interview, Howard faced direct confrontations from individuals he had implicated, allegedly receiving threats that only strengthened his resolve to continue speaking out against the systemic corruption. In a subsequent video message, Howard issued a powerful challenge to his detractors, demanding they address him directly rather than hiding behind anonymous attacks or carefully edited media narratives. He invoked traditional notions of honor and integrity, emphasizing that real men confront issues face to face rather than engaging in cowardly character assassination from the shadows. This stance drew attention to the modern phenomenon of digital defamation, where individuals feel emboldened to attack others while shielded by technology and legal disclaimers. Howard's call for accountability extended beyond mere personal confrontation. He pointed out the hypocrisy of those who profit from defaming others while simultaneously accusing them of dishonesty. By challenging people to stand behind their accusations publicly, Howard highlighted the fundamental weakness of many allegations. They often lack the courage of open confrontation. This approach resonated with broader societal concerns about the erosion of personal responsibility in the digital age, where anonymity often breeds cowardice and misinformation spreads unchecked. The actor's unyielding position on these matters demonstrated remarkable consistency with his previously stated principles. Rather than backing down in the face of threats, Howard doubled down on his commitment to truth-telling, viewing each attack as further validation of the importance of his mission. His response exemplified the very qualities he advocates for in Hollywood: courage, integrity, and a willingness to face consequences for one's words and actions. This unwavering stance positioned Howard not just as a whistleblower, but as a moral authority challenging an entire system of exploitation and deception. The allegations surrounding Diddy represent just the latest chapter in Hollywood's long history of sexual predation, joining infamous cases involving Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, and Roman Polanski. These cases collectively reveal a pattern of powerful men exploiting vulnerable individuals, often through coercive sexual acts and manipulation. What distinguishes Diddy's case is the apparent scale and organization of his alleged activities, suggesting a sophisticated network rather than isolated incidents of abuse. Court documents and witness testimonies paint a picture of a highly coordinated operation involving record company executives, directors, and other industry power players. The alleged involvement of major celebrities like Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and LeBron James in Diddy's parties indicates the depth of this network's reach within the entertainment industry. This web of connections mirrors historical patterns seen in other high-profile cases, where influential figures protected each other while preying on aspiring artists and young professionals. The concept of a gay mafia controlling significant portions of Hollywood and the music industry emerges from these revelations, suggesting organized efforts to maintain power dynamics through sexual coercion. Record company executives allegedly participated in and facilitated these activities, using their positions to ensure compliance and silence among victims. This systematic abuse appears to have created an environment where participants felt trapped, leading many to turn to substance abuse as a coping mechanism. The psychological toll on victims appears devastating, with many struggling to reconcile their experiences even years later. Industry veterans note patterns of behavior similar to those exhibited by Philip Seymour Hoffman and Heath Ledger, suggesting that unresolved trauma from these experiences may have contributed to their struggles. The pressure to maintain appearances while dealing with such profound violations reportedly drove many to increasingly dangerous levels of drug use, creating a cycle of dependency and further vulnerability. Perhaps most disturbing is how these allegations reveal a culture where participation in these activities became a de facto requirement for success. Those who resisted, like Terrence Howard and 50 Cent, found themselves marginalized or excluded from opportunities, while those who complied often rose rapidly through industry ranks. This dynamic created a perverse incentive structure, where maintaining one's man card or professional integrity meant sacrificing career advancement, while compromising these values opened doors to fame and fortune at tremendous personal cost. Terrence Howard's controversial man card theory provides a framework for understanding the psychological impact of sexual compromise in the entertainment industry. According to Howard, maintaining one's masculine identity represents a fundamental aspect of personal integrity that, once surrendered, cannot be recovered. This concept extends beyond mere physical acts to encompass the spiritual and emotional core of male identity. When individuals trade their dignity for career advancement, they sacrifice something irreplaceable, their authentic sense of self-worth and purpose. Howard argues that this loss manifests differently in men and women but carries equally devastating consequences. For men, giving up their man card means forfeiting their natural aggression and assertiveness, qualities he believes are essential for personal growth and achievement. This perspective aligns with his observation that successful men produce vast amounts of sperm per heartbeat, symbolizing their inherent drive and creative energy. When men compromise their integrity, they effectively castrate their own ambition and authenticity. The actor draws parallels between male and female experiences, noting how women who sacrifice their maternal instincts or family-oriented values suffer similar losses. However, he emphasizes that society often judges men more harshly for such compromises, leading to deeper shame and psychological scarring. This explains why many male victims reportedly struggle more intensely with substance abuse and mental health issues following their experiences. Howard's analysis suggests that the entertainment industry's power structure deliberately exploits this vulnerability, recognizing that once someone surrenders their integrity, they become easier to control. The Puff Daddy phenomenon, where powerful figures manipulate aspiring artists through promises of success, exemplifies this dynamic. Victims often rationalize their choices as temporary sacrifices for long-term gain, only to find themselves trapped in a cycle of compromise and dependency. The inability to recover from such losses, according to Howard, stems from the fundamental nature of personal dignity. Like virginity, once given away, it cannot be reclaimed. This permanence creates a psychological burden that many find unbearable, leading to increasingly desperate attempts to numb the pain through drugs and alcohol. The industry's awareness of this vulnerability makes it particularly effective at maintaining control over its victims, ensuring their continued compliance through fear of exposure and social ruin. 50 Cent's long-standing warnings about Diddy's parties have gained significant credibility in light of recent revelations. The rapper's refusal to attend these gatherings stemmed from clear understanding of their true nature, a decision that set him apart from many of his contemporaries. Unlike Meek Mill, who allegedly accepted Diddy's invitations and even appeared in matching outfits, 50 maintained his distance, recognizing the implicit expectations accompanying such social engagements. Meek Mill's reported transformation after associating with Diddy illustrates the potential consequences of compromising one's principles. The rapper's enthusiastic participation in shopping trips and public appearances with Diddy suggested a willingness to align himself with questionable activities for career advancement. This contrast highlights the crucial moment when individuals must decide whether to maintain their integrity or pursue success through compromise. 50 Cent's public statements about Diddy's advances provide valuable insight into the subtle ways powerful figures allegedly solicited relationships. Offers to go shopping, typically associated with romantic interests, served as coded invitations that 50 Cent instinctively recognized and rejected. His discomfort with these approaches demonstrates acute awareness of the underlying implications, allowing him to avoid an entanglement in potentially compromising situations. The rapper's consistent messaging about maintaining personal boundaries has proven prophetic, earning him credibility as an industry observer. His ability to navigate the hip-hop landscape successfully while avoiding association with controversial figures speaks to the viability of maintaining integrity in entertainment. This track record lends weight to his forthcoming documentary Diddy Do It, which promises to expose deeper truths about Diddy's operations and associations. The intersection of personal relationships and professional success becomes starkly apparent in the case of Jay-Z and Beyoncé's marriage, which appears to transcend traditional romantic partnerships into a calculated business alliance. Their union seems to have triggered a dramatic shift in Jay-Z's career trajectory, evidenced by his unprecedented accumulation of Grammy Awards following their marriage contract. This correlation raised questions about whether their partnership represents genuine affection or strategic positioning within the entertainment hierarchy. Analysis of Jay-Z's career reveals a pattern of recognition that aligns suspiciously with his association with the Carter family dynasty. Before marrying Beyoncé, his accolades were modest compared to the avalanche of trophies that followed their union. This transformation coincided with a notable shift in public perception, where Jay-Z evolved from street rapper to respected businessman and family man. The timing suggests these achievements may be interconnected, with his marriage serving as a gateway to enhanced industry legitimacy. Beyoncé's influence appears to extend beyond mere association, potentially impacting award decisions and industry recognition. The couple's children, notably have received honors despite minimal contributions to the arts, hinting at a system of entitlement rather than merit-based achievement. This pattern of generational privilege suggests their success stems from calculated positioning rather than artistic innovation alone. The couple's attendance at Diddy's alleged freak-off parties adds another layer of complexity to their relationship dynamics. Their presence at events where serious allegations of misconduct occurred raises questions about their knowledge and participation in potentially criminal activities. While maintaining a public image of respectability, their private associations tell a different story, one that may ultimately prove incompatible with their carefully cultivated personas. The recent civil lawsuit naming Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and LeBron James alongside Gloria Estefan in connection with a 2015 incident at Diddy's residence threatens to unravel this carefully constructed narrative. The detailed allegations, including specific claims about Beyoncé's reaction to witnessing alleged abuse, position the couple at the center of controversy. Their potential testimony could illuminate the intricate web of relationships and mutual protections that characterize Hollywood's elite circles, potentially exposing the mechanisms through which power and prestige are maintained within the industry. The legal proceedings against Diddy have taken a dramatic turn with the emergence of Jonathan Audi's shocking allegations. The incident at Trump's National Doral golf course in Miami, where Audi claimed to be Diddy's alleged sex slave, represents a watershed moment in the unfolding scandal. Audi's account, corroborated by security footage showing him shouting "Shout at death row" during the disturbance, suggests a pattern of control and manipulation extending beyond isolated incidents. His presence at numerous high-profile events, documented through photographs and video recordings, establishes a clear connection to Diddy's inner circle and lends credibility to his claims. The timeline of events reveals a sophisticated operation involving multiple properties and elaborate security measures. Court documents detail a network of concealed tunnels connecting various residences, including those owned by Gloria Estefan and her husband Emilio. This infrastructure allegedly facilitated the movement of victims between locations, enabling prolonged sexual episodes away from public scrutiny. The description of a birthday party for Diddy's son Christian, where victims were allegedly paraded in degrading costumes, underscores the organized nature of these gatherings. Victims' accounts consistently describe a similar sequence of events, luring through professional opportunities, drugging upon arrival, and transportation to undisclosed locations. The specificity of these allegations, combined with physical evidence and witness testimonies, creates a compelling narrative of systematic exploitation. Security camera footage from April 2015, showing unauthorized access to victims' residences and mysterious visitors carrying medical equipment, supports claims of premeditated criminal activity. The investigation has expanded to include additional witnesses, including former employees and associates who allegedly facilitated these operations. Internal communications obtained through discovery reveal coded language referencing special guests and private performances, suggesting an organized effort to document and manage victim interactions. Financial records show unusual transactions timed to coincide with these events, pointing to a sophisticated financial structure supporting the alleged enterprise. Law enforcement sources indicate that the scope of the investigation continues to grow, with new evidence emerging daily. Forensic analysis of electronic devices seized during raids has uncovered extensive documentation of these activities, including video recordings and explicit instructions for handling participants. The convergence of multiple victim accounts, physical evidence, and financial records paints a disturbing picture of an organized criminal enterprise operating with impunity within the entertainment industry's highest echelons. Will Smith's public denial of involvement in Diddy's alleged activities provides an interesting counterpoint to the growing number of celebrities implicated in the scandal. During a comedy appearance in San Diego, Smith emphatically distanced himself from the controversy, stating, "I haven't been anywhere near those damn freak-offs," and adding, "I don't even like baby oil." This declaration, while humorous in delivery, carries significant weight given the context of ongoing allegations against other A-list celebrities. The timing of Smith's statement appears calculated to preempt potential accusations, especially considering his former assistant's revelation about catching him in a compromising situation with Dwayne Martin. By addressing the issue head-on, Smith attempts to establish a clear boundary between himself and those currently under scrutiny. His emphasis on never participating in these gatherings aligns with his established public persona of family values and integrity, though skeptics might view this as damage control rather than genuine exoneration. Smith's comments reflect broader industry anxiety about discerning truth in an era of rampant speculation and misinformation. His acknowledgement of internet memes and public discourse surrounding the scandal suggests awareness of how quickly reputations can be damaged by association alone. By directly confronting these rumors, Smith attempts to maintain control over his narrative, while demonstrating transparency about his knowledge of industry practices. The actor's distinction between responding to dumb stuff and addressing legitimate concerns about his involvement highlights the challenge facing public figures in the current climate. His decision to break silence on this particular issue suggests recognition of its seriousness and potential impact on his career. However, critics might argue that his comedic approach to such grave allegations risks trivializing the experiences of actual victims, potentially undermining the credibility of his denial. The contrasting responses of Will Smith and other implicated celebrities illustrate the complex dance of denial and confession playing out in Hollywood's corridors of power. While Smith attempts to distance himself through humor and direct denial, others remain conspicuously silent, their careers potentially hanging in the balance as investigators piece together the full scope of Diddy's alleged operations. The upcoming Netflix documentary Did He Do It, spearheaded by 50 Cent and Terrence Howard, represents a potential watershed moment in Hollywood's reckoning with its darkest secrets. Both figures occupy unique positions as outspoken critics of industry corruption, having maintained their integrity while observing the machinations of power from the inside. Their collaboration on this project suggests a comprehensive approach to exposing the truth, combining Howard's insider knowledge with 50 Cent's street credibility and production expertise. The documentary's production team has reportedly secured unprecedented access to primary source material, including internal communications, security footage, and first-hand accounts from victims and witnesses. Unlike previous attempts to address similar allegations, this project benefits from the current climate of accountability and the mountain of evidence emerging from ongoing legal proceedings. Sources close to the production indicate that the documentary will not rely solely on sensational revelations, but will present a meticulously researched narrative supported by verifiable facts. Netflix's commitment to the project reflects a broader trend toward investigative journalism in streaming media. The platform's statement emphasizing authentic and nuanced perspectives suggests an approach that transcends mere exposé, aiming instead to contextualize individual stories within the larger framework of systemic abuse. This strategy aligns with the service's recent successes in producing impactful documentaries that spark meaningful social discourse. The release timing, scheduled for the next few weeks, positions the documentary to influence public opinion during critical phases of ongoing legal proceedings, with federal prosecutors building their case against Diddy and related parties. The documentary could serve as both a historical record and a catalyst for further revelations. Its potential impact extends beyond mere entertainment, possibly influencing judicial outcomes and policy changes within the entertainment industry. Production insiders suggest that Diddy Do It will feature exclusive interviews with key figures who have remained silent until now, potentially including victims prepared to testify under the protection of documentary journalism's ethical standards. The combination of Howard's principled stance and 50 Cent's industry connections creates an environment where witnesses might feel more comfortable coming forward, knowing their stories will be presented with integrity and respect. As the entertainment industry braces for the release of Diddy Do It, the convergence of legal proceedings, media investigations, and public discourse has created a perfect storm threatening to reshape Hollywood's power structure. The mounting evidence against Diddy, coupled with the expanding list of implicated celebrities, suggests that the industry's traditional mechanisms of protection and secrecy are crumbling under the weight of overwhelming testimony and documentation. Federal prosecutors' confirmation of Cassie Ventura as a key witness, alongside the emergence of 3 additional victims, indicates that the case extends far beyond initial allegations of domestic violence. The legal strategy emerging from Judge Marrero's courtroom reveals the prosecution's confidence in their evidence. By denying Diddy's request for a trial delay and refusing to exclude the March 2016 surveillance video, the court has signaled its readiness to proceed with what promises to be one of the most significant trials in entertainment history. The prosecution's methodical approach, securing email evidence and witness testimony while systematically dismantling defense arguments, demonstrates a comprehensive understanding of the case's complexity and its broader implications for industry practices. Public reaction to these developments has reached fever pitch, with social media platforms amplifying every new revelation, while mainstream media outlets struggle to keep pace with the rapid-fire disclosures. The entertainment industry faces an existential crisis as the foundations of its power structure, built on favor trading, silence for success deals, and institutionalized abuse, crumble under scrutiny. The ripple effects are already evident in shifting power dynamics, with younger artists demanding greater transparency and accountability from industry gatekeepers. The convergence of these factors suggests that Hollywood stands at a crossroads. The outcome of Diddy's trial, combined with the revelations promised by 50 Cent's documentary, will likely determine whether meaningful reform takes root or whether the industry returns to business as usual after weathering this storm. Regardless of the immediate legal outcomes, the cultural shift appears irreversible, with audiences demanding greater integrity from their entertainment icons and institutions implementing reforms to prevent future abuses of power. The ramifications of these revelations extend beyond individual careers, potentially reshaping how the entertainment industry operates at its core. As the dust settles on what many are calling Hollywood's reckoning, the question remains whether this moment represents genuine change or merely a temporary disruption in the status quo. The industry's response to these allegations will determine whether the sacrifices made by whistleblowers like Terrence Howard and 50 Cent lead to lasting reform, or simply create new mechanisms for maintaining control while appearing to address past wrongs.